Just wanted to introduce Zal, aka the Vision Ninja. Just want to thank you for coming on to share your insights and your
Yeah.
specialty in creating vision boards. And I think this is not only is this the perfect time of year to do so because a lot of people are goal setting and New Year's resolutioning and New Year's revolutioning, but this is a great tool that's proven to be very impactful in people's lives.
100%.
And I know that you've studied this. This is your specialty again. And I remember when I was doing in-person live events, I actually had Zal come virtually to one of the events to do this while we were making vision boards. And the feedback that I got was very, very good. And people were so grateful and happy to have learned from you.
Yay.
Um, so if you just want to share maybe like how you got into vision boards and why it's been such a great focus in your life.
Yeah. Well, so happy to finally for us to catch up, even if it's through
Mhm.
an interview.
Oh. Well, side note, I was telling my boyfriend that how many times you came to see me in the hospital, and just like I just value your friendship and the experiences that we've had together. I mean, you're always when I think vision board, I'm like I'm calling Zal, and that's not
I
only why.
appreciate you.
It's also an excuse for me to connect with you and catch up.
I appreciate you so much. But yeah, with vision boards, I actually one of the things in my vision board is relationships, and that's relationships with people that I've met over the years, family, all of that. And kind of to answer your first question, how did I even get into vision boards? Oh my God. Of course, we are part of the whole Tony Robbins family, right? So there was an amazing, awesome soul from that family who his name was Thomas Wang, who got me into vision boards. He literally took all the courses that Tony Robbins had offered at that time, and he wanted to help people learn all of it. And so every time I have to talk about vision boards, I have to give him credit because he became my coach and he showed me how to do his style of vision boards, and I really, really loved it because I finally found a tool to structure my brain, and so I was super happy about that. And because of that, I'm like, oh my God, I'm gonna take this to the next level for myself. And I basically just went crazy on the way he taught it to me. I gave it my own style, and I just fell in love with the whole process. And I really think it went beyond the traditional vision board where we put pictures and words, which is beautiful. But it gave me a structure that worked for me, which is awesome. Oh my God, Aisha from Nigeria. Hey, Aisha.
Hi.
Wow. I
Her
don't even know
beautiful
what time
face.
it is there. Thank you for
Oh,
tuning in.
thank you for joining us.
So that's how I basically got into it, and I did it for myself. This is like with everything that I do. I try on myself before I go ahead and say, "Yeah, this works." you know?
Hmm.
Um and so that was pretty awesome. I really love just jumping into it. And then finally, of course, shared it with some people. They liked the approach, and then we basically just expanded it to different people. And then I started a Muslim mastermind, and I taught it there, and so I just been sharing it all over the world. So it's been fun.
Incredible. And it's like it's so cool. Like because I'm trying, I started my book digest and I'm diving into the mastermind setting, and just to think about the people that I could pull and look up to and
Mm.
share with my groups is just like I don't know. I got like giddy about it. I was like, oh my god, like I felt like you were like a celebrity or something, like
I appreciate you so much.
because like of your insight that you could share about this. And I have got really good feedback from when you shared last time at the last event. So can you walk us through? I have literally four vision boards in front of me throughout the years.
Yes,
Um,
I remember your vision boards.
so my method of madness is I love Pinterest and I go on and
Mm.
I pull photos, um, you know, to I have my main vision board that I did that has like kind of everything,
Mhm.
like relationship, um, career goals, fitness goals. But then I kind of pulled out one picture and made big vision boards on just that.
Yeah.
And I know that Joseph McClendon talked about in his manifestation group on Instagram, like it's important to focus and zone in on one thing at a time,
That's right.
especially if you have like a bunch of interests.
Yeah. So
Um,
so
yeah.
so there's a lot of different vision boards. So many different vision boards. Oh wow, we got some people from Zambia too. It's amazing.
Bro.
Yo, rocking it. Um, so was that Kevin saying, "What are you doing
Kevin,
with
what's up?
Zal in your life?" Stop it, Kevin. Okay, so there's a lot of different types of vision boards, honestly. There's so many different types of vision boards. Of course, the main one that a lot of people know is when you put like different pictures and maybe quotes and then you put like all these nice things, right? Um and what I would tell people is whatever vision board, like you can try a lot of vision boards, and whether my method works, somebody else's method works, just make sure that it aligns into your heart correctly, right? Because whatever aligns into your heart, then you'll have this internal motivation to follow, right?
Mm-hmm.
Please don't follow what everybody else is following
It's in
because
your
it
heart for
works
a
for
reason.
them.
Yeah.
Yeah, like don't follow the trend, follow what works for you. And so when I saw this vision board, I'm like, oh my god, this is the thing that's going to make me zero in. And so just to really to get in of what it looks like, because kind of it relates to what you were saying about what Joseph was mentioning his mastermind,
I
to like
just
the
heard
zero
that.
in.
I never
Yeah,
thought of that before. I would just kind of, glide through it. I didn't like focus on one. What's the most important thing within that?
right. Yeah, because it when you just put a bunch of pictures and words random, it kind of puts your head, my opinion, it kind of puts your head all over the place in some sense, right? Because you're like, where do I focus on? All of this looks pretty. Where do I focus on? And so, like, when you switch to dividing your vision board into different aspects of what you really care about, right? Because you don't just care about the car, you don't just care about the house, right? You don't just care about nice clothes, right? There is like a deeper thing behind this where there's different aspects of your life that need your attention, like your
Mhm.
health need your attention, your relationships need your attention, your career needs your attention, your wealth needs your attention, your contribution to the world needs your attention, your passion needs your attention. So these are different categories that are in your life that need your attention. And so once you give each one their space, then you can zero into each one and ask yourself the magic question, right?
Mhm.
What is it that I need to do about that particular category in my life in order for it to go to my, 10x level, whatever that is?
Mhm.
It's nice to say I am so happy that I'm wealthy and put an affirmation there, right? It's amazing, right? You are creating this rewiring in your brain, but your brain is still going to ask you, what the hell do we need to do? What do I need to do to get you to 10x? Like be more clear for me. So the vision board I like most is the one that gives me clarity. Your brain needs clarity, otherwise, it's pissed off. It needs clarity every time. Like, look at yourself from the simplest task. Your brain wants to know A and B. Like, where do I go? It doesn't want like butterflies. It wants answers. And so I think giving your brain a little bit of both gets it excited. You can give it the affirmations, but you can also give it the strategic plan. And those two kind of like go together so it can take you to where you want to go.
So somebody mentioned it was good to see you after the session with Master Co. And I just want to highlight him and talk about his New Year, meditation this year. And it was great because he talked a lot about having, thinking about what your outcome is,
Mm-hmm.
thinking about why, which I focused on a long time. Why? And now I'm hearing it differently this year because I'm a little upset of how long it's taking. because I never really set a when. So that's really, I know that you do that. Do you have your vision board to show us?
I'm actually in New York. I'm in
Oh,
New York City.
cool. Oh my God.
I'm not back in North Carolina, which is why otherwise I would have had my vision board behind me.
Oh, okay.
Does it if it lets me share my screen?
Yeah, I could do that.
Or you like you have it, right?
Share screen.
Or you
Oh
could share
yeah.
that picture that I sent you.
Oh, cool.
Does
Okay.
it let you share it? We can
Yeah,
like
I can do
once we're
it.
talking even
I'm
more about
gonna
the vision board, we can like go through it or
Yeah, I
something.
got that. I'm gonna work on that.
Okay.
So I wanted
So
to ask you because you want to, like you talked about having, oh, it's, I don't know why it's small. We talked about, oh, it's blurry. I'm sorry.
okay, let me see. But you know, with what you said about Mouse Master Co,
Hmm.
um, I was just talking to somebody about this, and this was really crucial for me to chat with this person. I don't know, it was just a realization. But you know, sometimes we would say, "Oh man, why am I not here yet?" You know, like we have our why, but why am I not here yet? But honestly, like for me, I feel like God has been letting me peel layers. I wasn't ready. I wasn't ready to just be in that why. So God is sending me things that would help me peel layers and see the light, if you will, and
Yeah,
get me resources, right? Because sometimes we dream and we make these wishes, but we forget that. All right, what if we do get this wish? What if it shows up? There's a lot of work that comes with it. Are you ready for the work? You know what I'm
yeah,
saying? Like, I was like, oh my god, you know, when I wanted to do a mastermind, and I'm like, oh, it's taken so long. One of the first people that I spoke to was actually Lorelai, and she was pushing me to do it, and I'm just like, man, why is there a block? Right? Why is there a block? And then finally, I did it last year, and a lot of work came with it. And I love the work, right? I love the work, but I'm like, oh my God, when you make a wish, you better be ready for the work. you know? And it just made me realize all these different pushes that I received from different people to eventually create a mastermind was layers to remove different beliefs and to give me resources, you know?
I like to call it following the breadcrumbs, but I don't know why it upset me so much because I know that even though you say you set a goal, and I think vision boards are great with setting goals, but if you don't put a deadline on it,
I agree.
I realized that I had set a goal that I thought I would complete by this time this year, but I felt that the fact that I gave myself a whole year, I gained clarity within talking about it, was like I kept putting it off because I had a whole year to complete it.
There's definitely something magical about deadlines or you know, like I said before, your brain is looking for clarity. Like dude, like give me a give me a timeline, give me a road. What do you want? Give me specifics. Your brain is always asking for that. Otherwise it's foggy. You know what I'm saying? um if I could share this, when was it? It was last year. I just forgot when exactly, but I needed $10,000 for a specific program. And I'm like, how am I gonna get $10,000? Like, I got nothing going. This is before the mastermind and all that stuff. I have nothing going. I got my job and it's paying for everything. I'm like, I got nothing going. I need this money by May. I need $10,000 by May. How? I don't know.
Mhm.
And basically, I started writing it in a gratitude form. And the way I wrote it was, well, I did two things. I would write in my whole page 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000, 10,000. Legit, I swear. 10,000, like for probably like a month straight, every single day, a whole page, 10,000, 10,000. And on the top of the page, I would put Alhamdulillah for having 10,000. Alhamdulillah means thank God in Arabic. Thank God that I have 10,000. That's it. Like I would just put it like that. And I would also write gratitudes where I would write, I am so grateful that I have $10,000 for my program, for purchasing my program. And I just put that with full faith. I had no aspects of the how. and I'm like, I need this by May. And it was like surrender, like in a surrender way. That's all I'm going to do. Um, and basically by May, I got the 10,000. Like it really did happen. And I tried it again for other smaller amounts of money, and it happened, and it worked. So, like,
Was it like, did it come from unexpected places? Was it?
yes, unexpected places. One, my mastermind worked out of nowhere, right? It worked out of nowhere. And so it was a paid mastermind,
Mhm.
right? And then my tax money also came, and it was an amount where I'm like, oh, okay. You know what I'm saying? And so, like, money from there and money from my tax just made it happen by May. So I'm like, oh my God. Um, in this particular method, I want to give credit to where credit is due. I got it from Mercedes Mercedes Miller. I don't know if you know her,
Uh,
but she does a lot of manifestation stuff. And I saw her doing it in her group, and somebody else from her group shared it with me. Her name is Yamile. You know Yamile.
mhm,
And so I'm like, what you got to lose? You can either complain you don't have the 10,000, or you can attempt something.
mhm.
And that creates rewiring. It really, really does.
Can I ask you a question, because I I love that, and I remember in one of the programs that I did with Bob Proctor, we did something similar. But
Yeah,
I'm curious to know, like, was there a certain feeling you had behind writing it out like that?
absolutely.
Did you totally believe it? Did you have resistance in the beginning? Like, how was the process of that?
Well, here's the thing. Sometimes when we're starting the process, we don't believe yet. Like that's just because of limitations we have all around us, especially if you're just starting out. Like the limitations is up to the roof, right? But here's what I believed in. I believed in the mission behind it. When you are doing an exercise like that, you better have a mission. When you have a mission, it creates a whole different
That's where
energy.
I'm getting now, because I used
They,
to like think, oh, I want abundance, and like think come from a place of lack, which I just realized I was doing for a while.
yep, yep,
Now I'm like, wait a second, like, what am I trying to contribute?
right.
It's not about wanting abundance. It's about what am I going to give?
That energy is
Never
looking,
thought of
yeah,
that before till
yeah,
like a week ago.
like that energy needs a mission, basically.
Yeah.
If it's just left on, like, I mean, I'll give you a quick example, right? You have two people running for a marathon. One person is just running for the heck of it, but one person is running because he is trying to honor his dad who has cancer.
Yep.
Who's gonna put in more work?
Yep.
Who's gonna be in the floor and they'll crawl to the
Yep.
end,
You
to the finish line.
I remember that time. That
Y- you
remember
know?
that one run you shared with us?
Oh yes, holy crap. Holy crap. Yeah, that was that teared me
Oh
apart.
my gosh.
But like the whole point here is when you give whatever you're trying to manifest, when you give it a mission, like one, you are a whole different beast,
Mhm.
and two, just the energy align. I want to share with you this study that I read about, which is incredible. Here's a study. Three groups of people. Where the hell did I read this? But anyway, three groups of people. Each group was holding a DNA chromosomes in a like flask or whatever in their hand. One group, they told them think positive. The second group, they told them have an emotion, have a strong emotion. And the third group, they said think positive and have a strong emotion. And so the aim here is to change the structure of the chromosomes, right? Of the chromosomes, the DNA or whatever. So after like they all did that, right? We got one group just thinking positive, no feelings. One group just having emotions, not thinking positive, and one group thinking positive and having an emotion about changing the chromosome, whatever. And so by the end of that, the person who was thinking, the group thinking positive and using their emotions were the only ones that were able to make that change
Mhm.
somehow. I don't know, somehow, right?
When you attach emotion, well, this is crazy, but it was kind of reminds me of the different the water. Remember the
Yes,
water? Okay.
exactly. So, the whole point here is when you're creating a goal, when you're creating an affirmation, when you're creating a vision, right? Don't follow the trend like, okay, this is what everybody's doing. No. One, customize that for you.
Mhm.
Like, this is my stuff. All right. Don't put the gym there because everybody is going to the gym.
Everybody's
You,
health, which is
my brother was telling
closed,
me about, he was telling me about the gym yesterday. I said, wait till February.
closed down unexpectedly last week. They're like,
Oh,
so I'm in a whole nother like, I'm gonna
so
be one of those joining soon. Another one.
so the whole point here is when you're creating that vision, make sure it's yours and make sure you are thinking positive, of course, but to also give it that emotion and mission so
Mhm.
it can align. So that energy can align and get to work for you.
Beautiful. So my next question, because I do have your vision board in front of me. I apologize for not being able to share right
Wait,
now.
let me see. If I press share and then I share it, let me see if it's blurry. You want me to
Okay.
try?
Yeah, try.
All
I
right.
just I, I just want to
Uh,
ask you from looking at it, like how do you come up with the categories? How did you come up with the categories?
that would be awesome. Let me see if I can like see it. That would be awesome. Let me see. So I can like properly explain it to
I'm
everybody.
gonna
Let me
try to
see.
share my screen too.
Let me see. There we go. Let me just leave it like this, and then I'm gonna try to share my screen, and I'll see if it works out. If it does, then we're able to like share screen, window. Let me know if it's like blurry. Does it look blurry? Is it sharing?
Oh, it's perfect.
Perfect?
Yes.
Awesome.
I think it's perfect. Guys, let me know, whoever's watching, if it see it clearly.
Okay. Yeah. I mean, in my screen, it looks pretty good. So that's okay. That's okay. If
Oh, it
any,
looks incredible.
awesome. All right. So here's why this particular vision works for me, and I really hope like whoever's watching, it can work for them.
It's clear. We're
To
good.
your point, right? Let me go back to it. Let me go back. Okay. There you go. You can still see it, right?
Yeah, perfect. Thank
To your point, you need a deadline. So this is why it's important up on the top. Do you see my mouse moving there as well or no?
you. No. Oh, yeah, yeah, yeah. I
Yeah.
do. Yeah.
Okay. Yeah. So you need to have a year. Like you need to have like, is it a 3-year vision board? Is it a 5-year vision board? Is it a 10-year vision board? Is it a 1-year vision board? Right. So you need to make that clear. And different people, like when I worked with clients, some people might create a 1-year vision board and then like, oh man, the goals that I put here, they feel like they're for 3 years and then they change it. So regardless, like put a year here so that way it can like record something in your brain, right? Your brain needs clarity. Now, like we spoke about before, you have a lot of categories in your life you need to take care of. And so there's a lot of chaos in your brain. And your brain is screaming and telling you, please, please organize me. And so this is when you brainstorm the different categories that you want. You ask yourself, like, what is it in my life that I'm really trying to improve? And you grab six, I would say 4 to 6 categories. I know I have 9 here, but it's for the sake of like I just went crazy because I loved it so much.
Hmm.
And so you should get 4 to 6 categories, such as religion, right? If religion or spirituality is important to you, boom, you have it. Family, health, relationships, career, finance, life calling, self development, contributions. This is just some ideas. You
Yeah.
might have, like I know one person, he put skill set, right, because he wanted to get a bunch of certifications, right.
Oh.
Some people put creativity because they wanted to do like creative projects, right. um, there was one person who put family, but she also put love life, right, because she wanted that to be just completely just their time, right, their time. So the categories are endless. You just have
Mhm.
to ask yourself that question: what categories are just really standing out for me, right? And don't do more than, I would say, don't do more than 9 for sure, because then you're gonna contribute more
Overwhelmed.
to the chaos, right?
That's my problem
Yeah,
sometimes.
it's like stay at 6,
Yeah.
really, just stay at 6, um, because you will know what is most important to you. So once you have your category, that's when your brain will ask you even for more clarity. Even for more clarity, you're going to ask yourself the question. All right, say for example, you chose health. If like I'm imagining my health, I am visualizing that health. I'm visualizing myself being active and whatever. Then the question there is, what is it that I need to be doing to get to my ideal health vision, right?
Mm-hmm.
Whatever that health vision is.
Mm-hmm.
What is that ideal, like what does it look ideally, right? What am I doing? Right? Like retrace your steps. If I'm seeing myself with, I don't know, six packs and I am so energetic and I'm saying good morning to everybody with so much more like energy, like what did it take to do that? Like visualize that in your mind, right? Because there's, there's some work. There's some work you need to do.
Mm-hmm.
So you might say, oh, you know what? I need to go to the gym 3 times a week, right? I need to eat at least 4 healthy meals a week. I need to drink a gallon of water a day,
Mm-hmm.
right? So those are specific things, and your brain's like, oh, yes, like, thank you. You're giving me like specific direction. Like, I'm not lost,
Would
right?
it
I'm
be
not
cool
lost.
to maybe like brainstorm, like have a bubble and then maybe branch off?
Yeah, like they can like in the creation, right? In the creation time, like this is, again, this is why I'm saying this is not just a fun, yay, I'm putting pictures. No, you're getting to work. You're
Yeah.
serious. Like when you're putting that type of work, you are serious about your vision. Like you're not bullshitting, right? Like you really need to go to that next level. So you could put your category in a circle and then brainstorm the specific actions that you need to do. Like it's amazing that you are visualizing that category, but meeting it halfway, right? Like you by you putting the vision out there, things will be sent your way without you even planning for them. But that's because you are taking the first step,
Mm-hmm.
right? You are building relationships, you are doing different things. So yes, create a circle and put, different arrows to it of what you need to be doing. And then, take those 5 important things that would take you to that next level under that category and move on with it. Like for example, for mine, this is my last year's vision and I changed it a little bit. So I would say, make sure it makes sense for you. Like I put 1,000 plus workouts. By the way, this is for like 5 years, right? 1,000 plus workouts, 800 healthy meals, six packs, 3 plus fun runs, 2 plus marathons, right? Like when you put numbers into it,
Mm-hmm.
right? When you put numbers into it, it just creates really, really, really amazing things. Like it's like eat healthy. Like what does that even mean? You know what I'm saying?
We
But
all
when
know what to do.
you know what I mean? But when you say eat 3 healthy meals a week, then you're giving yourself some directions. You're giving yourself a deadline, like something quantity. You're putting some sort of quantity, and that creates magic.
Can I ask, is it sometimes overwhelming to think about like having like heftier, like long-term goals? Because you're like, oh God, like I have to like 1,000 workouts. That sounds so like so much.
Yes, 100%. So
Yeah.
here's what I'm gonna tell some people, because working with different people, I saw that, right? I saw that. Um, when you are creating this type of vision board and you are testing this out, make sure you like when you are writing like the sentences or the bullets, if it feels weird for you or heavy, you gotta change it.
Okay.
So let's say I put 1,000 workouts and that felt heavy, right?
Yeah.
Maybe I'll switch it to, oh, like 2 workouts a week. That feels a lot lighter.
Yeah. It's
But
one of those things like where you could say it without flinching. Like,
exactly,
yeah,
yeah,
cool.
or maybe you can scare yourself a little bit, right? Not scare yourself to the point you're like, oh, I'm not doing this. But, say if 2 workouts, you are in your comfort zone. But 4 workouts or 3 workouts gets you a little bit out of your comfort zone. Yeah, you can scare yourself a little bit, right? It kind of makes you get to that other level. It's okay to do that as well. So it's really honestly all about testing what is aligning with you and what feels good, even if it's challenging. Like some people think, oh, if it's challenging, then I'm not gonna do it. But I honestly think once you switch your perception or mindset about facing a challenge, it really absolutely
It could be
creates a
fun.
whole, yeah, not just fun, but you're like, it's okay if it's challenging. I'm gonna do it. I'm gonna do it anyway. Like, who cares?
And I know, like, in the book that we're reading, she uses vision boards as one of the tools.
Oh my God.
Yeah,
You're talking about You Are a Badass, right?
yeah. And there's like, oh, he popped off for a second by accident. But in the book, she talks about vision boards, and it's one of the tools in manifesting. And she talks about how our brain thinks in pictures. So, she says if someone says a horse is wearing red lipstick, you instantly create a picture in your mind of a horse wearing red lipstick. Hey, Zal.
Sorry about that.
It happens all the time. So I was just saying, like, I wanted to ask you now, like, when we get into the photos, because I'm such a visual learner, and I
Yep.
think that I talked about in the book, it's a small paragraph that she mentions vision boards, but it's just a love I have. And I thought it would be a great tool and activity for us to do in the group.
Yep.
How our brain thinks in images. So if we
100%.
if someone says there's a horse riding a horse wearing red lips, I mean, there's a horse wearing red lipstick. You instantly think of a horse with red lipstick on in your mind.
Yeah.
I don't know, that was so hard for me to say.
No, images are so important, and this is why with the process of getting your images, you better Google your images. Please do not just limit yourself to a magazine. You can have the magazine, but please Google the images that align with you.
Mhm.
Like, your soul has to smile when you are creating this vision board, when you are choosing your images, because you might not realize it, but when you're looking at that vision board and you're looking at those images, there's like a signal you're not even like paying attention to, but it creates a connection and it's sending signals.
She says in the paragraph that she's seen down to the tiniest details
Yeah,
of people's photos on their vision board. Like they've manifested, you know, down to pieces of furniture,
right.
like the same one.
That's insane. I believe it.
Geeky.
I totally believe it.
Yeah.
There's something magical when your energy aligns with what you have.
Mm-hmm.
It's I'll give you like a perfect example. When you meet somebody for the first time or whatever, and then you don't know what it is, but you just sense this connection and you sense this alignment with this person, and all of a sudden you want to open up to this person.
Mm-hmm.
Like, every time you see this person in your mind, it creates a definition. Like, you become so comfortable, like unconsciously you're doing all of these because of their energy or whatever, right? Just like, there's just something really cool about this individual, right? And that's the same thing with your vision. Without even noticing, things are aligning without you being there. Things are working for you out there, just because of that alignment.
Mm-hmm.
And so it is so important to not just have a random picture. Please don't have random pictures.
That's crazy you say that because I've done it all. I'm like a little, I think, I don't know, I guess a trial and error, but I
Yeah,
think,
no, nothing wrong with that.
yeah. But how do you pick your photos? And like, because I've seen your vision boards over the years and I see a couple new ones, but I think your photos are very thought out.
Yes. Yeah.
How did you
Very,
pick them?
very thought out. Let me see. Let me share back that so I can like explain why it's thought out. It goes into what you believe about certain things, right? I don't Let me see if it's gonna let me do this, but um anyway, this picture right here on the bottom where it says relationship,
Yep. I
right?
remember that one. You've had that one.
Yeah, that one I even put it in my new vision board, just because I still feel the same about this picture. And honestly, it created magic for me. But in this picture, you guys might not be able to see it, but there's a lot of construction happening to the word relationship. There's a lot of construction. And that's how I feel about relationships. Once I saw that picture, I'm like, that's exactly what you need to be thinking about with relationships. That's exactly it. You need to be, it's a joint effort to create a true relationship, right? Not just a whatever, like somebody, but a true relationship. It takes your effort, it takes their effort. It's constantly getting constructed. You're putting value, they're putting value. That's real. That's
Mhm.
what makes it real. That's what makes someone lasts in your life truly because of that. And so, like, I gave that picture all that meaning. It gave me that meaning as well. And I'm like, that's what I want to be looking at every day. I need a picture that's going to remind me of the true definition of relationships to me,
Mhm.
right? The same thing for that picture with family, right? You see,
Mhm.
each member of the family is holding a letter of the word family. And I'm like, that's what family is all about. It's not one person taking the burden, but it's all of us just together, like having fun together.
I love that picture. It's beautiful.
Yeah, I mean, honestly, I told you before this went live that I have COVID right now, mild symptoms,
I
but
didn't want to share because I wasn't sure if you wanted to.
no worries. The whole house has COVID, by the way. The whole house has COVID. And this is exactly how we're treating it. Like, we all have it, we all didn't know, but our symptoms started all together. And we are helping each other with just going through this together. Like, we would make tea for each other, we would make jokes with each other, we would pray
Aw.
together, which is very, very important, right? We all have it, so nobody can oscillate, right? We all have it. We all tested positive. We're staying home, but we're giving each other emotional support.
Mhm.
And so, like, that's what that picture means to me. That's exactly what that picture means to me. Your picture has to have, like, the meaning that aligns with your vision. Otherwise, like, if you look at a picture and it's like, oh God, that house, like, how am I gonna even afford this? You're sending the wrong signal again. Like, you're sending mixed signals. This is why on that experiment we talked about, somebody was just like, you have this positive feeling you want this house, but you're sending this negative emotions, doesn't do nothing.
With the intention that really brings it to life.
Exactly.
Feel your words of you. Like I could have looked at this photo and been like, oh, it's really cute. It's nice. There's sun shining. Like it's adorable. It's beautiful. But like when I hear what it means to you and like the example, it means like it makes sense. It's just
Yeah. And when you create that meaning, like I said, outside forces are listening.
mhm,
They are listening. So I'll just leave it like that.
beautiful.
So yeah, Google your pictures and make sure. Besides pictures, my new vision board, I also added. I added keywords, right? Keywords that align with me.
Mhm,
Um, such as, I don't know, and quotes. I also added quotes, like
mhm.
whatever quotes that mean to me a lot as well, and keywords, like motivation or blah blah, health, whatever like that. I also added prayer. That was new. I've never did that before, but I learned through a course that I took how to make, like, really powerful prayers that align with your vision. And so, like, I added those as well.
Can you give us one tip?
Well, it's similar to the categories part, where you are picking one particular part about your life. And when you pick that particular part about your life, you make a prayer about it. And I'll give you an example. Um, so I really wanted to fix my dentals, right? I wanted to fix my dentals. And it's so expensive in the US. You know how crazy expensive it is.
Yep.
But I knew, like, Turkey, the country Turkey, they do it with so much less. So after learning the method of how to make the prayer, I put um, uh, Ya Allah. Ya Allah means please God, or God. Ya Allah. Um, Ya Allah, I want to transform my teeth in a luxury dental service in Turkey. Just like that. Like, it's very specific. I have the location, I have my wish, and I have, like, my feelings with it. And so that's exactly how I wrote it. I wrote it a lot through the gratitude stuff and all of that. And out of nowhere, things worked out. And I went in October, and I got a ear. Yeah,
Oh my goodness. Look at
there you
those
go.
shiny teeth you
Hmm?
got there.
There you go. So, um, I was very obsessed with that
Wonderful.
particular prayer. and you have to like start the work. This is the magic behind it as well. When I made that prayer, I started the work. And what I mean by that is, all right, I did the prayer, I got no more control there. And then I said, I started posting in these Muslim groups. They're called Discover You. This is like the program I went to. And I said, um, who do you know anybody in Turkey? Blah blah. And so I started having the conversations, even though I didn't have the like full money yet.
I've been
But I
thinking
started
about
having,
it
but I
lately.
started having the conversations, and then like that
People
wish
really
was
will
met
help.
halfway.
Yeah.
Yeah,
And that you never know, like there might be someone in your circle that like has direct access to something that you don't even know, and just by voicing it,
yeah.
you could get more guidance in it.
That is exactly what happened.
Hmm. I just have another question. Well, how's your son doing? Because he's so sweet. Is he okay?
He's all right. He also got tested positive, but he's okay. He's
Okay.
good. Yeah, we're all back.
Um, so I wanted to ask you about, maybe like for me, there's something that I voiced to my group, like how I've had something on my vision board since I first started. And I gave myself 3 years. And then last year was a year, and I still haven't completed it. Is there anything you could suggest to maybe like certain things on people's vision boards that aren't
Yep.
happening yet? And maybe, I don't know.
I
Have you ever felt that way?
Yes, that goes. We were just having this conversation, and that goes back to when I'm like asking us ourselves the question: when I made that vision, like a couple of questions we need to ask: do I really care about it? Like I care about it, or did I felt like compelled to just put it there? Right. That's one question. And two, what kind of like it goes back to the emotion. What kind of emotional signal am I sending?
Hmm.
That's another big question. Oh, wait, give me 1 second. Hold on.
Okay.
She ripped his book. Take her in the book. Oh no, take it. Oh my god. Oh my god. You're not seeing what I'm seeing. My niece came in and she took her brother's book from school, and I'm talking to you and I can see her rip it. Just oh no, all right. Can you just take her out? Take her out. Thank you. Oh my god. He is not going to be happy about this.
It's just a book. It's just a book. We can replace it.
No, it's a kid's book, and she just literally opened it halfway, and
Oh, what book is it?
I don't even know.
Let me know.
It's
I'll
gone to
send
the
it to you.
trash. It belongs to the school, so that's why I'm like, oh no.
Aw.
Anyway, I really think we need to check the emotional signal we're sending, because it's like a waiter comes to get your order, and you give them the food order, and then they're about to go get you your food, and they're like, whoa, I've changed my mind. They come back like, all right, what do you want? You give them another order, and then they're leaving like, whoa, you know what I'm saying? So
Mhm.
we might be thinking positive about it, but we're sending the wrong emotional signal.
Got it.
And so when you're sending the wrong emotional signal and you're like, oh shoot, why isn't this working? It's time to revisit, how do I feel about that particular category or particular vision?
Would you
Like
say
is
that's the most important component?
I would honestly think that is the most important
I feel that
component.
now. Okay, cool.
Seriously, like the emotional aspect behind it could be the block. Then like why is other things working so awesomely, right? And
Effortless.
then you should
Yeah.
check those too. Check
Yeah.
out the things that are working so smoothly, especially if like miracles came your way because
Yeah.
of those,
Yeah.
and you're like, oh my god, like what made that work so well?
Have you thought of something, have you discovered something that helped make them happen so well, those little miracles? And
Yes, 100%. One, the things that I thought um looked heavy, right? I would look at them like, does that look heavy to me? Like, does it have a heavy energy inside of me, like that particular vision? If the answer is yes, then I would ask myself, do I really need that right now? Is that something for later, or do I really need that? Because I want my energy to be spent um in like in the best places possible. You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And so like I've changed some of my vision because of that feeling. I've changed it.
Okay.
Another thing I would say is,
So you
you
don't
know,
have to
say,
be dead set on what you originate with. It could change.
yeah, like my motivation changed, and I'm
Yep.
like I made that vision because of something else, and
Got
it
it.
didn't really click with me. That's one. A second thing is if there's something that you really, really want, then that's when you jump into gratitude. That's when you jump into gratitude. There's something from a book called There's a book called The Law of Attraction. Literally, it's just
Mhm.
called Law of Attraction by Michael Loser. I think that's what his name is. His name. He said there's a really cool way to write your vision with a gratitude. So instead of saying I'm so grateful that I have this hot body, right? Right. I'm so, like instead of saying it like that, and you say I'm so grateful I have this hot body, and then your body says no, you don't, right? He said to change something in the sentence and to say, I am so grateful that I am in the process
Ooh,
of
this is
having a
new.
hot body. When
Okay.
you say in the process,
I'm so
that's
happy.
not that's
Grateful
not saying you fully
process.
have it. Yeah, that's not saying you fully have it. It's saying that it's in work. It's work in progress, and you're getting there.
Because we talk about in the chapter two, act as if. And I had a little bit of resistance because I used to think, oh, fake it till you make it. But I think I love that part of it. It's
Yeah,
like
it
sometimes you
creates a
have to
balance.
accept where you are.
Yeah, it creates a balance.
That. Yeah,
It's giving you credit that you're doing the work, and at the same time it's sending signals for more help or more manifestation or whatever. So um changing it to I am so happy and grateful that I am in the process of generating $10,000 a month. You know
amazing.
what I'm saying? Like you are working, you are in the process, you are trying. You know
Mhm.
what I mean? You're not just saying I'm so happy and grateful that I have $10,000, and then that voice comes back and says, "Shut the hell up, you're lying." But you're like, "Yeah, it is true. I am in the process," and so at least you're
Ooh,
tweaking something
got it.
that can help you continue to do the work. You
Mhm.
know what I'm saying? So,
Incredible. So I know I want to be respectful of your time. I know you have your beautiful family awaiting your presence. Is
oh
there
yeah.
anything else you want to share, or maybe the begin how people could take that first step on starting?
Well,
Um,
let me give people the quick steps, right, for the vision board if they wanted to do that, right? So step one, come up with the year, right? That's step one. Come up with the year, 3 years, 5 years. Step two, come up with the categories. Really, just take 4 to 6 categories. I already told you what the general categories are: health, wealth, family, career, passion, right? Just make sure, like, that they are categories you care about. Please don't take everybody else's categories you care about, right? So that's step two. Step three, now go the extra deeper step and
yeah.
asking yourself the question, what is it about this category? Like, if I can see my ideal self successful in this category, what is the 5 things I can be doing to go there?
Mhm,
Like if it's for your business,
mhm,
you being an entrepreneur, is it creating one course by the end of 2022? Is it connect, build a relationship with 30 powerful entrepreneurs?
mhm,
You know, so be specific, put a number in it because your brain pays attention to that, right? And then where are we? Step four, come up with the pictures. Google your pictures and make sure they are pictures that align with you, right? So that's step four. Step five, you can add quotes and words that really like gives you that beautiful feeling, right? That
mhm.
supports you in that way. Step six, make sure you have this vision board in a place you
I was
care
just
about,
telling you to
please.
remind us that.
Yeah,
Put it in
like,
your closet.
yeah, don't put it in your closet unless you're hanging out there, but you won't. So make sure, like, make sure
Right
it's
here.
in your bedroom. You're like wherever it is that you hang out most.
Mhm,
And I would say look at it
mhm,
every single day. And
mhm.
here's like after you create your vision board, right? Every day or like once a week, look at your vision board, look at one category, right? And sit down and visualize. Just see your ideal self in that category. This is kind of going back to what Jen was saying in the beginning, like zooming in into one and
Yeah.
just visualize. Really, just have fun. Create a story and have fun. Be in the story. See yourself there. Create those like vivid images and be part of the story. Smile if you need to. Create that emotion when you're visualizing,
Mhm.
because that strengthens the bond.
Mhm.
That strengthens the bond between you and your relationship with that vision board. I mean, like, we have to just use the common sense rules. Like, to strengthen a relationship with somebody, what do? You do more things with them. You like open up to them, and it strengthens the relationship. Strengthen your relationship with your vision board, with your vision. Just doing that, visualizing and being in the story. So that's, I don't know if it's step 5 or 6, but it's not just about creating the vision board once, but it's creating it once and constantly doing things for it every week, taking the small steps to kind of get closer, you know?
I just wanted to add how I learned recently through somebody else in my mastermind that they mentioned the theta state when we first wake up and right before we go to bed.
Yeah.
Our mind's less resistant to believe or thank you so much. Anthony had asked what the 5 steps were again. Thank you so much for posting. Beautiful, beautiful soul.
Well,
Um,
the summary version is: come up with your year, come up with your category, come up with the subs under your category, come up with your pictures, post it on the wall, and do weekly rituals that would help it kind of like build up. There you go. Those are the steps.
yeah, and I wanted to add the theta state. I don't know if you ever heard of this, like right before you go to sleep
Yes.
or when you
Or
wake
when you're
up. I
waking
don't know
up.
when you look at the vision board. Maybe it's just in passing, but there's power to that as well.
A hundred
Focusing on that.
percent. Because your brain is not distracted by a bunch of crap yet.
Yeah.
Your brain is open. Like, the limitations of the world have not started to kind of like like to attack you yet. You're still open to everything, so when it comes to that weekly thing of visualizing, yeah, if you do it either before go and sleep or in the morning, that's like the best timing. And one of the things I do is what Master Co does, right? When he showed us that, putting light and healing into your family or whatever, I use it for my vision board. So I usually see my category. Like, I would take category by category, and I would put light into a golden light, and it gives me that feeling. So
Hmm.
feels good.
Beautiful. All right, Saul. Well, I was happy to connect with you and share you with everybody.
I
Um,
appreciate you so much. And honestly, it's all about taking very, very, very small steps into each of those, categories. Like, just very small steps. We all did that. So, you know,
Beautiful. All right. Well, I'm sending love to you and your family, and
thank you
let's
so
catch up
much. This is
soon.
fun.
You're in New York. Oh my God.
It's cold. You guys are cold. I need to go back to North Carolina.
It's snowing over here.
Thank you so much. And it's a pleasure connecting. And thank you so much, everybody. If you
Thank
have
you so
any
much, everybody.
questions, please message me. Happy to help. Peace out,
Awesome.
everybody.
Ciao.
Ciao.